For real?
I mean, actually.
What's like a not for real squat?
A not for real squat is when you do like 10 reps of pretty much the bar.
Yeah.
That's boring.
All right. So if I can get you, not today, but if I can get you to, say within 6 months, 12 months, squat 300 pounds, you're gonna teach me how to use a yo-yo?
Yeah.
Now, if I use the yo-yo, can I do the super hard tricks real quick?
No.
How long is it gonna take me until I can do something that's kind of cool to be filmed?
Like a week.
A week?
That's how long it took me.
To do one cool trick?
Yeah.
How many times do you have to practice in that week?
Like 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day. I gotta do this yo-yo thing 8 hours a day?
No,
I
over practiced.
So you over practice, so that was like 60 hours?
Probably.
A yo-yo before I can do one cool trick?
Probably.
Wow. How many times do you think you need to squat before you can do one real cool squat?
A lot.
About a year, right?
Yeah.
60 hours?
Probably. More.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of doing the same thing over and over again, ain't it?
Yeah.
So you already know what you need to do. Come on, let's get focused a little bit. Does that feel heavy to you in any way?
No.
Honestly? No,
Honestly.
Okay,
Not at
okay,
all.
all right. Because I want to work on bar position and I want to work on your steps, right? I don't want your heels to be in this crack, right?
Okay.
So I want your steps to stop before here. And I want the bar a little bit lower on your back. So we're not going to worry about anything except walking it out, setting up, and then walking it back in, okay? So it's not going to be that taxing. Good, so go ahead and get underneath it. And then what we're going to do, slide under a little bit more. I want it right here. So when you stand, put your feet under the bar a little closer. A little closer. So actually, so like the mid part of your foot is right in line with the bar. So you gotta come forward a little bit more. A little bit more. That way when you stand up, you're gonna stand straight up. Okay? So stand straight up and hold it. Now bring your right foot back. Left foot. Then bring your right foot out to where you want it. The other foot out to where you want it. Stop. Okay. Now, here, look at Paul. All right, now go squat down. Keep looking at him. Good. Again, one more. Good. Okay, put it back in. Okay, step out. Come back this way. Okay, now go back in, grab, and all I want you to do is walk out, set it up. Remember remember where we put your feet before you come out. Feet close, feet close. That way you kind of do a leg press to get it out. Okay, then 1, 2, right?
Yep.
Let's go back in. I want to tighten it down a little bit more. Remember, we're going to go here, up, 1, watch my feet. So here, your closed stance leg press. Here, step, step, step. So we'll just try 3 steps, okay? All you think of it this way, you're here and it's the strongest, it's going to be easier to get it out this way. Strongest position here, and then step here, step so it's even, and then you don't want to squat from here, then you will adjust, then adjust.
Okay.
All right, so bring it back and then adjust. Actually, let's try to go thumb away from the smooth. See what happens here. Okay.
So like that?
Yep. So then you're gonna wedge under the bar so it's a little bit lower. See how that feels tight now?
Yeah.
Okay, remember your feet. Where's your, right? Stand up, step, step, adjust. Now you're in a pretty decent position, right? We just need to work on this being tight, this being just a little bit higher. Go back in again. Go ahead and let go. I want you to forget where your hands were.
Okay.
All right, like turn around real quick. All right, now grab the arm, set up. Okay. Look where you're playing. Remember, it's thumb away. Okay.
Yeah, do you mind if, can I do that
No,
after?
you can do that, that's fine. Okay. We're just doing this to make sure it's gonna be even on each side. Then you're gonna dig it in there. Good. Step, step, adjust. Okay. Now, from here, up just a little bit. So remember when we were talking about this earlier? Mm-hmm. That needs to be tight. Go ahead and squat down real quick. Squat back up. There you go. Feet closer. Don't worry about the box. I'll make sure it's right where it needs to be. So step, step, adjust, Good. Stop. I want you to stop at the bottom. Stop. So here, right? Remember, you want that force, you want that foot, all the weight on tension on their foot, okay?
Okay.
Now from here, remember this? No, stand up. All right, focus a little bit more on the technique. The reason I took him from the monolift squat rack over here to the tsunami bar with the box again is you got to know who you're working with. And he's still 12, right? So the attention span, you got to work with that. You got to understand that when you're working with people trying to teach them movements, because if you stay in the same place over and over and over, they're going to mentally check out and it's not going to be worth it. So what we want to do is get the technique reinforced and grounded, so when he's not here, he'll have these verbal cues and a mental checklist to be able to run through. Make sure the hands are even on the bar, make sure the bar's in the right position on the back, make sure the feet are rooted into the ground the way that they're supposed to be. And then I might do one other, just working a little bit with how to hold the torso. But right now I'm kind of getting to a place with his age. I don't want information overload because then nothing's retained, so it's not going to be perfect by the time that we're done, but he's going to retain the most important things. Yeah, this will still be valid no matter how old somebody is, because it's how I would teach anybody how to squat. It's kind of the same basic steps. I just wouldn't move them around as much. I would keep them all here, reinforce everything in the same place. Okay, walk towards us and do exactly like you just did. That. Right? See, now when you do that, come back towards me, you have no idea if this is centered on your back.
Yeah.
Right? So when you come around this way, now you got the center knurling to be able to tell you, right? So, okay, so now get your set up. Down, stop. Now from here, I want this just to be a little bit here. Not super, I don't want you to arch. I just want it right here. And then look at the yellow collar on that bar and stand up. Okay, do it again. Sit down. Stand up. There, good. Walk it in. We're gonna put a little bit of weight on, just because I know you're sick of squatting the bar. But I gotta have you work on trying to stay more upright, okay?
Okay.
You're wanting to do this a little too much? So the more weight should make it a little bit easier for you to stay upright. I wanna be a power lifter right now and just focus on doing that, because you're leaving too many other things on the table. And long term, it will make you a worse power lifter. Okay? So we're gonna make you strong at everything. How's that?
Okay.
Good. Step. Oh no, fail. Forward, forward, forward. Tell me what you did wrong.
I have no idea.
Step, step, adjust.
Oh,
You
I
went,
do the
you went,
adjust?
wow! You went like crazy step.
Okay.
Step, step, adjust. Good. Look at the yellow collar. Good. And up.
Good, but it hurt my back.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll get used to that. It's not as sharp of a bar either. Now, when you say hurt your back, you just mean the pressure of the bar?
Yeah, it was just hitting like right up on a bone. It didn't hurt. Like.
Okay, if you were to adjust, where would you go higher
Yeah.
to make it go away? Show me where you put it if you made it go away. Just stand up with it. Okay, set it down. We might be able to work with that. We might be able to work with that. Get in the squat stance. So now you go to your adjust. Okay, now from here, remember you're gonna be here. This is gonna be here and it's gonna be tight. This, try to push my fingers out. Try to make my fingers, don't let me squeeze you. Do it a little bit. That's actually pretty good. All right, you do it again. Harder, harder, harder. Okay, try to here. I know, I got it. I know. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Push my fingers out. There. What did you do differently that time?
I don't know.
Okay, let's try it again. Ready? Go. This is what I'm going to want you to do after you set up this time, right?
Okay.
Can you tell him what you just had him do?
I'm trying to get him, the industry will say brace, right? I'm not going to sit here and try to explain to him what a bracing is or a tight torso. I just want the midsection to support the spine when he's squatting. He's falling forward just a little bit. The weight's going to be heavier this time. So any way that I can get these muscles to contract to better support the spine is what I'm looking for. So when I grab, if I do this, I'll start laughing, right? Because he's ticklish. But that's also sensitive. So that's the place I want to be, because I can put my finger there and say, don't let me push in, and then it will tighten up. Where if I try to do it, here, or, higher up the rectus abdominis here, it's not going to have the same impact because the sensitivity isn't as much there. So you just work with what you got to work with, just help stabilize the spine. Step, adjust, focus, look at the yellow collar, go, and up. Nice. I like the pause down there because it allowed you to adjust. The bar path, okay?
That was better than the first.
Okay, for those that are watching, I'm asking Sam, who's off to the side. I can't watch him from the side, right? So I do have somebody off to the side watching the bar path, because typically I would want to do that, but I've not worked with Alexander for a long time on the squat. I'm more concerned about spotting than I am the bar path at this point. But from what I saw there, that was really nice because he sat down, he stopped, actually corrected his technique a little bit without even knowing it, which is a good thing, and then stood up, because we will transfer this over to just a free squat as well. But right now we're just going to have some fun, right? Work up a little bit, maxing. As long as they have a background in training, they're fit, there's some background in strength. I don't know what I'm trying to say here is it's okay to max the kid out as long as they're conditioned enough to be able to max out. If he had no training background whatsoever, there's no way I would allow him to work up this heavy. I would just keep it all technique work. But we're going to have a little fun, right? We're going to see what's going on. So,
Hopefully.
yeah. It's going to be the same thing,
Yeah.
but fun.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the same thing is fun.
Yeah, sometimes.
Hey, listen, it might feel heavy when you take it out. This is important. It probably is going to feel heavy when you take it out. It doesn't mean you can't lift it, right? Once you get it all set up and all this is tight, things are going to change a little bit. Just because it's going to feel a little weird, a little heavy, does not mean you can't lift it.
Okay.
So don't let that defeat your brain. Step, adjust. Find your collar, good. Now stand up. All right. That was effing ugly.
Yeah,
I don't
it
want you to
felt
sit
terrible.
down. Yeah, I don't want you to sit down that long. So that's a confidence thing, right? You took it out, it felt heavy. Don't lie to me,
Yeah,
remember?
it did,
Right?
it
It felt
did.
heavy. So then you set it up and you're like, okay, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. And you sat down and you thought, man, this still feels heavy. Then when you sat down there, you decided at some point,
I have to get it
maybe
up.
I can do this. What if you started off thinking maybe I can do this from the very
I could
start?
do it.
Okay, so we're gonna do this one again.
Okay.
Not right now. Right now, go just get another drink of water. And think about that just a little bit, right?
I actually got you a couple bottles of it.
A lot of that was you're defeating yourself, okay? What you just did is way harder than if you just took it out with confidence from the very beginning.
Okay.
Way harder. I mean, any of these guys will tell you, if I took a kind of heavy weight and just sat on the box and just relaxed for a couple seconds, it doesn't make it easier.
And you moved your feet.
You moved his feet too.
Yeah, you just shifted everything.
Okay.
Yeah, way harder.
So here's the thing, you can do it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's make sure that we're all set here. Good. Tight. Good. Set, adjust. Okay, yellow collar. Ready? And up! Stand right here. Stay there. Look at the yellow collar. Down again. And up! Good. Stay right there. Get this tight. Look at the yellow collar. Down. Confidence.
God, come on.
Good. Forward. The third one broke down, but how were the first two?
First one was good. Second one got a little shaky just because of the speed.
Yeah.
But your first one was good.
Okay. How'd that feel?
Fun.
Okay. I knew that last set after the first one was going to look a little bad. It was going to look weird. But what I'm working with right now is his head, right? So even though he did 3, Or he did 3, so now you think that's like an easy weight because you did 3 with it.
It was still heavy.
I know that,
Yeah.
but personally I would really only count the first one
Yeah.
because the second 2 just looked like dog poop, right? But I want you to believe that you can do it though, right? When you take it out, get everything tight, just reinforce that. So this one we're only going to do 1 for sure,
Yeah.
right? But this one here is going to be heavier, so you have to be totally confident, 100%. If you're not, don't do it. And there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
So you think you can do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we'll spot it. You know, if you can't do it. I just don't want you to adjust anything. I don't want you to sit down there and double, and question yourself. I don't want any of that. I want you to do everything the way it's supposed to be, and it should just pop right up.
Okay.
What are your cues that you're thinking about when you get under the bar?
Like the feet together,
Yes?
and
Then what?
then like stand up,
Mm-hmm.
step, and then adjust.
And then what?
Go down and then come back up. Oh, get tight. Yeah.
Yes, okay, so we're just missing 1, which I'll help you cue, okay? That could be what we're missing with the other, when we're doing the other ones. Okay. Step, adjust, tight, here, big air, make that tight, yellow collar, hold it, go, and up.
Nice.
Okay, good.
Like that
A little bit?
getting there.
Okay. All right, so we're breaking down, which is okay because it's a max weight, so we want to see where you're breaking down. If he was older, I would be looking at what that breakdown as being a muscular weak point. It's not a muscular weak point with him, it's still technical. But you kind of wanted me to do the video in such a way for different people. So different people, we'd start looking at what's the issues with the hips, what's causing that breakdown at the very bottom. With him, it's just a little bit of a lack of focus. I wouldn't have him squat this all the time. I would use this as a guide where I'll talk to the guys that are helping him of what he should train with moving forward. I probably wouldn't have him go over a quarter per side for probably 3 to 6 weeks and just reinforce the technique with the box squat. Now we're going to take the weight down a little bit and work the free squat a little bit from a different stance. I do think at his age and experience, even if it's a beginner, that you need to work all squats, not just the power squat. So this is a power squat, it's a box squat. So we're going to go a closer stance, say bodybuilding squat, maybe Olympic squat, depends how mobile he really is. Then we're going to do a goblet squat as well. So he can cycle through those in his training to keep variety in the training for one thing, and to strengthen all the muscles. Because I like to say when it's a younger athlete or it's a beginner, they say, well, what's my weak point? And my answer is everything's weak. So you are the weak point. So make everything stronger. He makes everything stronger, the squat goes up. Damn, kid, that's not bad. Okay, good. Forward. That's not bad. I'd like to work on getting this bar a little bit lower, but use it based upon your tolerance. We moved it back up because it was starting to hurt your lower back.
Yeah.
So when you start squatting, try in that lower position that we were doing. And then when it starts to bother you, put it back up again. Each time you do this, you're going to be able to do it more and more and more in that position. When the bar's that high on your neck, that's what's causing you to feel like you're falling forward.
Okay.
You do feel that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what makes it feel like that. We get it down just a little bit, that's going to go
Yeah.
away. But let's see what happens when we try this with just step, not adjust,
Okay.
and go from that stance. Step. Oop. Okay, now, so you're caving so far forward, going forward. Okay, now you're really falling forward. So we're gonna lower the weight. Because now what I'm wondering is if this is a mobility issue or if it's the weight issue that's on there. Okay.
Just the bar? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So for those that are watching, now we're gonna work a high bar And the other one was kind of like a low bar. Step, step, no adjust. Now get your yellow collar. Okay, good. Feet flat again. Can you go lower?
Let me see.
How heavy does that feel?
Not heavy.
Okay, squat down. Don't look at me. I'm sorry. That should be in front of you. Okay, squat down and just stop in the bottom. Stop. Look at me. Okay, can you go a little lower?
No.
Look at me. Look at me. Okay, up, up, up. Okay, do it again. Down. Stop. Can you go lower?
No.
Okay, up. Okay. Forward. Okay. No bar. Come out here. Turn on. Right here. Okay. Step, step. Go. Step, step. Put your hands out like this. Squat down. Lower. Okay, come up. Try to put your feet in closer. Okay, go down. Lower, 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 lower. Okay, okay, there you go. Okay, okay. All right, cool. Rest a minute. So if we're going to do a high bar, more bodybuilding and Olympic stance, I want to bring your feet in a little bit more.
Okay.
Right? So you have the mobility in there. You just could be your hip structure. Something starts to jam it up in there. I don't believe it's a mobility thing. At 12 years old. Again.
On here?
Yep.
Just the step?
Yep. So step, step, then I'm going to tell you to do something else. So step, step. Okay. Bring your feet in just a little bit. Okay, now. Go.
Squat.
Yep. Oh, up. That's a mess. Okay, go back step.
Oh, I didn't know if you...
Yeah, I want you to try to go as low as what you just did when your hands
Okay.
were in front. Good. Okay, that's up. Okay, that's a strength thing. Okay, come here. I don't want you to do high bar bodybuilding type squats yet.
Only do the...
We're gonna have you do goblet squats.
Okay.
Right? Can you grab a kettlebell?
Yep.
So if I'm gonna squat like the lower...
Yes.
'Kay.
Yes. Your strength is not there to be able to do the other squat.
Okay.
As it will be, right? It's just until we can get the bar a little bit lower to be able to stabilize the force a little bit better. That's the one thing. Balance is another thing. This is going to decrease a little bit. I'm going to have Sam actually show you how to do this. He's better at teaching a goblet squat than what I am. For the you can explain the reasons why I'm having to do this because of the bars. It's not the mobility thing. It's just the strength thing being out of that stance.
All right. Have you ever done a goblet squat before? Mm-hmm. Have you? All right. Come on over.
I haven't done it in like a long time.
All right.
Work him on these too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because he needs to work out, right?
Absolutely. Let's see what you do. Let's see what a goblet squat looks like to you. All right. So, anytime you have a weight out in front of you, and Dave, earmuffs, he's not going to like this, but you need to make sure that your knees are moving a little bit with your hips, right? Right now, your hips are going back, but that weight's out in front. What that's going to do, hips here, weights here, that's when you get into that forward position, right?
So like...
Good. So what I want you to think about, bring those feet in just a tiny, tiny bit right there. I want you to think about getting that tight torso, right? Driving your elbows down so everything's nice and tight, right? Don't let this, there you go. You just see how that kind of stiffened up a little bit? So what you're going to do, I want you to think about knees and hips moving at the same exact time. Think knees and hips. Ooh, not too bad. Let's see it again. Good. Now let those knees travel a little bit more forward if you can. Push them, push them, push them, push them. There you go, getting little depths. Keep going, keep moving. Good, lock it in. Tight, knees, good. Don't forget the feet, right? Keep those feet locked in. Let's see it, let's do 4 more. Good, really good. Lock it in, tight, reset every time. Perfect. Oh, don't go back on the heels. Keep the full foot the whole time. Press, 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 press. Good. These last 2, I want you to go nice and slow. Control it, okay? Nice and slow, nice and slow. Oh, you slow that down. You're getting tired. 1 more. Nice and slow. We're going to go 3 seconds down. Ready? Ready? Lock it in. Knees, hips. 1, 2, 3. Up. Beautiful. A goblet position, or when you have that weight out in front, it helps build the strength and stability of that upper back. A lot of the times, as Dave was talking about before, we may not have the ability to maintain a good position with that upper back. And as we get lower and lower into the squat, it tends to round over. If we can get someone really, really good at front-loaded squats like this, a front squat or a goblet squat, it builds up that strength and that stability and just reinforces that pattern.
So that's why you said on Instagram that you should front squat, right?
Yep. Oh, look at that. See? I have a fan.
Yeah.
That was the only fan for that front squat video. That was the only fan. No, yeah, absolutely, right? Because what you're doing is you're not only working on that strength and that stability, you're working on grooving the pattern with your lower half as well, right? So it's a way to fix an issue that we have at the top of the body while we're still getting a lot of good work at the lower half of the body.
Okay.
So how'd that feel?
Hard.
Okay. For those that are watching, the reason I had Sam teach that is I think a lot of people just in YouTube in general can learn from this. If somebody can teach something better than you, have them teach it. You know, he can teach that way better than what I can, which is why I had him do that. But here's what I've noticed from just the power squat and the goblet squat, and I'm sure Sam's going to agree. For every power squat you do, you need to do a goblet squat.
Okay.
So keep it balanced. Now that can be once a week for each. I'd like to see more, or both in the same day.
Yeah.
Just balance it, right? Because it's going to help. The goblet squat's going to help your squat, because where you were breaking down, technically, a lot of it's because you can't maintain that position. So that's the one thing. It's also going to strengthen different muscles than what the power squat does. And the overreaching thing of this, these are going to help build your deadlift a lot,
Yeah.
right? So that's why I kind of pulled away from the deadlift and said, let's do these. So you can build this stability and tightness. He'll use different words. The ability to help.
Keep maintain that position, right? Your positioning, right?
Maintain your position for the deadlift, because my fears, we'll still work on the deadlift, right? My fear is you're just going to be yanking stuff.